The Stephen and Denise Smith Student Athlete Performance Center is a state-of-the-art $66 million facility equipped to help all of MTSU athletics. The three-story, 85,000 square foot space is a part of the Build Blue campaign, and we now have the opportunity to get an inside look of all that it's going to house. Let's go check it out. When you first walk through the doors, you'll enter into the Tommy and Judy Smith lobby, or also known as the Jewel Box. Moving into the Kevin Byard Strength and Conditioning Center. The Kevin Byard, who still holds the football program's interception record, who went on to be a two-time NFL Pro Bowler and now a 2025 MTSU Hall of Fame inductee. This cutting-edge area is loaded with brand new equipment, some even being unique to MTSU athletics alone. Next, the Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance Athletic Training Room is connected, and it's 3.5 times bigger than the pre-existing one. Right off the training room, you'll find the Blue Raider football locker room. It houses a total of 125 lockers, all arranged by position groups. Now the players' lounge is right off the practice field, and it's furnished with pool tables, couches, and entertainment center, but most importantly, zero-gravity chairs to help with more recovery and rehab efforts. Following this is the game day walk, the main entrance for the student athletes as they hit Floyd Stadium for some football action, leading us into the equipment room, a space that will lodge staff, a general prep area, and a specific destination for all helmet design construction. Going down the line, there is a spot for coaches' comms and a tailoring room for any and all uniform issues for each student athlete on campus. But we can't forget about the high-density storage implemented in the room as well, creating a well-organized system for the entire athletic department. This now takes us to the second floor, the Joey Jacobs Football Operations Center. You're immediately embraced by the display case featuring the MTSU exclusive Nike uniforms. Making your way down the hall is the media room, which will host press conferences, recruit shoots, podcasts, and more. Then coming up on the offensive coordinator's office, who will anchor the right side of the building, leading us to the assistants' offices, and then the GAs and analysis bullpen. The left side of the second floor will be mirrored to this for the defensive side of staff. Both groups of staff for either side of the ball will have their own specific meeting room to conduct more effective conversation overall, which will also transpire into the entire football staff meeting room that's been built right into the center, right off of head coach Derek Mason's office. The one office in the entire building that has direct access to Floyd Stadium, a view you can't beat. But for the student athlete's own benefit, there is a team room. It's an auditorium-type style of seating with even more impactful features. One last element that will truly cultivate a more unified program is the distinct position group meeting rooms, such as the Benny Cunningham running back room. Walking up to the top floor, you're welcomed into the SRM Concrete Club, a premium space that will be the place to be on Blue Raider game days. Eric Scowden, the architect of the project, explains the meaning behind the very intricate details on the building.
The Jewel Box was an important feature, as I mentioned, because of the impact as you enter, but it was also an important part of the building to be seen from a distance, particularly the logo and the lighting effects within the space. It's going to be kind of a key element within this athletic complex and this quarter of the campus.
Any little facts that you know about this building that is unique to this building alone, I want you to tell me more about those.
The Kennan Sports Hall of Fame, the sort of double columns there. A single column could do the job, but there's two columns there to represent teamwork. So we use that double column element all over this building as an extension of that idea of teamwork, where one would work two or better. The roof line of the building is really important. It's got two dramatic kind of wing elements that were conceptualized as literally flight. Tying into the wing of the Pegasus was kind of a symbolic gesture.
What is one room or one space, one area that was maybe your favorite or best part that you loved about designing?
Yeah, it would be the premium dining space or the student athlete kind of dining experience space. The whole building is really unique in the way that it kind of terraces down from the stadium to the ground level. I think the weight room is also another really great part of the building. Structurally, in that area, we had to create some lateral bracing in there, just from a just functional perspective. But we designed that to look like an M for MTSU.
The general contractor, Bob Sarratt, says this massive entity was all about collaboration to create a one-of-a-kind space for this institution.
What does it take to have a project of this magnitude come to light?
To do it right, it takes a team. And we've been really fortunate to have a great team on this project, not just from our construction team, but also from the owner's perspective, the design team perspective. It's not every day you get to build a building carved into another structure. Parent company does that on other projects with renovations and things like that, but we had to put this building, 20 feet into Floyd Stadium, and required a lot of coordination for the demolition portions of it, and then basically building this building really tied into everything that Floyd Stadium had going on.
What was one thing that you had to learn or that you kind of had to pivot with about making sure that this building was exactly what people wanted it to be?
We're learning and pivoting as we go. This project has the hydrotherapy spas in it. We had never built one of those hydro spas, and so it's those things that kind of keep you interested and keep you learning and then understanding how those things work and come together.
What do you think, in your own opinion, what this building will do for MTSU athletics as a whole?
We do a good amount of athletic work, from independent schools to universities to public schools. This facility is a game changer. We've been in many other Division I schools. I don't think anybody has anything like this.
For Vicki Eastham, the project manager who has been a part of numerous other initiatives for the university, outlines how this infrastructure will blend right into the meaning of being a Blue Raider.
Based on our interviews, we were able to realize that we needed a building that reflected MTSU athletics. We wanted it to have a pulse. We wanted it to have energy. We wanted it to reflect Middle Tennessee. And we did that through creating volume with natural light. Some of the windows are almost 2 stories tall. We created it with color, with changes in texture and materials, and then the graphics package. As you walk through the building, you can't help but notice the graphics. There's one behind us. Because we are more than a team, we are Middle Tennessee. We're a family. And I wanted the graphics to reflect that. As you walk through, you'll see one wall that has all of the names of the team captains dating back to pre-World War I. And so as you look at that wall, you see that during World War I and World War II, we had no team. And so it takes a moment to take all of that in. And then you will see every sport represented. And some of the graphics are a story tall, and they are actual athletes that played here. And we have had some of them come in and take pictures with their families in front of those. Yes. So we're telling a story. We're telling a story of athletics that they represent Middle Tennessee.
Is there anything else you want to make sure that people know about or they're knowledgeable about with the SAPC?
Well, that it's more than a building. It is a family, and it is more than just Middle Tennessee. It's MTSU, and it's who we are. And I am very proud to be a part of that.
Nathan Wallach, the Assistant Athletic Director for Broadcast Technology and Game Operations, has played a major role in this innovation, and he shares more inside the necessary features that have been added.
It's been a long time coming. I think 21, 22 months is what Bob had mentioned of spending time every single day here, making sure that everything is exactly what you all need it to be. But what have been maybe some things that you all have had to overcome, maybe some bumps in the road along the way to make sure that this fresh, innovative design truly is what you want it to be?
I think it all goes back to when it was, I think, Middle Tennessee Normal or Middle Tennessee Teachers College. When it first started, it was a small footprint, and campus has grown and grown and grown. And a lot of the hurdles were the unforeseen things of what's under the ground of the old weight room and meeting rooms. There wasn't a whole lot of information on what was down there. So it took us a while to get out of the ground, as Bob and them were telling us through the project. Once we were above ground, things were able to move a lot faster.
This is the first meeting room that the whole entire team can come in, sit down. But not just that, there are certain details with it that will help with recording, with different meetings, other elements along those lines. Dive deeper into that.
We joke around internally that we multi-purpose every room in every building. This team room is designed for the football team, for them to be able to meet collectively, have tiered seating so everybody can see the screens on the front, everybody can participate. We've got a beefier sound system in here for hype videos and get the energy going. But then it's also, there's 160 seats in here. Football team is, when we were designing this room, 125. It's, the numbers come down a little bit. They've got more support staff, but then also having a space for our athletic department to meet as a whole and to be comfortable and not on folding chairs crammed in a room. We've got the ability here for recording lectures. So kind of think like a high-end classroom technology. A lot of the classrooms here on campus have some of this functionality. We just have not had it. So we've got a PTZ camera in the back that can track a speaker. We've got the ability to record locally. We can connect back to our broadcast control room. So if we're doing coaches shows or a signing day show or a bowl preview show, we can be in different areas of this building and not have to run a bunch of cable and dirty it up and get everything back to our broadcast control room. We can put it out on ESPN. So just having the ability to cleanly connect and meet as a group. Again, maybe there's some added revenue generation in the off season where people can rent the space out for seminars or meetings. But this room is exciting. It's nice and dark and dramatic. We think maybe it's a little too dark, so we're hoping that the beefed up sound system will keep the players alert and ready to go. But it's yet another thing in a long list of items in this building that we've had the functionality, but we haven't had the execution at the level that this room provides.
When it comes to the totality of the SAPC, it will be used by every student athlete walking on campus, and the shared space will be crucial for the entire development of every single player, no matter what uniform they have on. Jamie Blatnick, the strength and conditioning coach, defines what it means to have this upgrade.
Did you see all of the players' reaction today to the facility and to the, especially in here, to the strength and conditioning center? Did you get to witness what they were saying?
A lot of them were like, well, what does this do? What does this do? So we're going to actually have a lot of weight room orientation on what we need to do, or how things are set up, how you put these chains on the bar, how you use jammer arms, how do you adjust the new Ronins, how do you use the super cast, how do you use the back attacks, the inverse leg curls, there's something new for them. But they're all piece of equipment that I've picked out that are beneficial, not just for football, but for all sports. So it's going to be a tiny learning curve for them all, but it's going to be a good flow that we can have now a full team lift in there versus 4 groups throughout the day, which is going to be a lot of fun.
So this is going to be a game changer in a lot of ways, but how do you think specifically this year, even looking maybe to 5 years, how of a direct impact this is going to be on the field?
It's going to help so much with recruiting. It's going to help so much with player development. It's going to help so much with identifying weak points or deficiencies and addressing them, because now we have the space to do it.
It makes a difference whenever alumni and donors and other people are buying into it as well. What does it mean to you now that the community of Murfreesboro sees that this needed to be done in order for our student athletes to really buy in to the MTSU way?
I want to like kind of open this thing up and let people come here see it. I want them to understand where we're at, where we're going, you know, what we want to achieve, which is so possible. I mean, it's right there, right? We just got to seize it. The athletes are kind of gripping hold of it. But I want that stadium filled, right? We need to get that stadium filled. And this place has too much legacy, too much pride to not get that done. So I'm really excited to see what we do this year with it, because it's going to be great.
The multi-purpose training room will also have its doors open to any and all student athletes. Keith Bunch, the Associate Athletic Director for Sports Medicine, elaborates on how significant these new tools are.
Today, you're moving into a brand new facility, 3.5 times bigger than your last one, 2 times more tables, treatment, the list goes on. How are you feeling right now?
I am excited. It's like I feel like a little kid on the morning of Christmas, and I just got a whole new batch of toys, and I'm so excited for this new facility. And from where we've come from in the Murphy Center to here, this is a beautiful space, and I can't wait to take care of our student athletes here.
And speaking of those new toys, let's dive deeper into that. I mean, there's a lot of them. So let's see if you can go one by one to kind of tell me about how each one of them is going to help shape more strong, better athletes here at MTSU.
Well, starting with our wet room, we have a HydroWorks therapy pool that has a treadmill in it, and that treadmill can be elevated to dictate how much body weight we want our student athletes to use. It's going to be a great asset for us for athletes that are coming off of lower extremity surgeries, getting them back into running. It can be used for athletes who are maybe larger and need to lose weight, and they don't need the pounding of running outside. They can swim. We can use it a lot for shoulder rehab. I mean, anything you can imagine, we can use that therapy pool for. We have very large hot tubs, cold tubs, able to hold at least 10 to 12 student athletes at one time, compared to what we had in our other facility, which was basically some much smaller hot tubs, cold tubs. So it's going to be great for the recovery side of things, post-practice recovery, cold tubs, post-rehab, doing things in the therapy pool. So a lot of toys there. We've got a red light therapy room also as a sauna. If you read some of the research on that, it talks about how great sauna is for you. We've got 14 treatment tables, which is 6 more treatment tables than what we had in the old facility. Each table is going to be equipped with a Thermix unit, which is a cold, hot, contrast therapy unit that we can use on knees, shoulders, wrists, hands, anything you can think of, ankles. Each table is going to be stocked with a Eastham ultrasound machine, red light therapy, laser. So we've got a lot of toys here. We've got 6 taping stations for our pre-practice taping and bracing. We've got 2 exam rooms for docs. We got 5 offices. We've got an office for all of our interns and GAs. So it's going to be great.
Dana Marquez, the Associate Athletic Director of Equipment and the Football General Manager, clarifies how each sport will also have access to spaces like the equipment room as well.
You've been a part of many other football programs. Maybe they're in the SEC, certain things like that. But what have you seen over the years of why it's so important to have facilities just like the SAPC accessible to student athletes?
Well, I think the last 2 years I've spent traveling the country looking at a very specific word called sports performance. So sports performance in the world of athletics has definitely changed, and everybody's in their own silo now. So you got strength and conditioning, you got sports medicine, you got dietitians, you got equipment room, you got mental health, right? And they all live in their own little silos. Well, what's happened in this marketplace today is they have moved to this sports performance platform. So there's a great collaboration between all 5 areas now, how to make the athlete perform at a higher level. So I'm not the expert in sports medicine, but sports medicine may need to redo a footwear piece for if it's an orthotic. Well, we're the experts on the footwear. So now that collaboration works because now that those silos are starting to break down. So now we're actually helping our athlete. So when you build a building like this and you have that collaboration and everybody's together, the athlete's going to perform better.
Yes, this building is going to be used on all different types of levels for every single sport on campus. But for this room specifically, how is it going to be utilized for other programs here?
That's a great question. So right now, we actually have a project starting today. So with our baseball program. So a lot of people don't know this. I'm also a tailor. So a lot of our embellishment stuff that we do on our uniforms will be done in here. So if that's baseball adjustments, things like that, altering of our uniform. You got the sports medicine department that will be actually doing treatments in this building. Strength and conditioning, our athletes will be utilizing those things as well. From an equipment-based structure standpoint, our soccer team, right, they're learning new processes too. Our brand new laundry system is very much done in a completely different way. So for the first time, MTSU will have a die set system. So our uniforms actually don't change color throughout the year. So it's kind of a crazy thing, but you don't think about it when you're doing it, all this stuff. It's like you're just throwing it into the wash. Well, no, not anymore. So educating our coaches and our other staff members saying, hey, look, this building is just more than just football, right? It's for everybody. And the idea was, and I think with Dr. McPhee and Chris Massaro, the idea was to show our student athletes that we are going to spend the money to make sure you guys win championships and that your experience at MTSU is a great one.
Head football coach Derek Mason sees the value this building will bring to the entire athletic department, making a difference in every student athlete's journey.
You also know the importance of this building being for all student athletes. You're really big on connecting your team with all the other teams on campus. How impactful is this going to be for the many other teams that are going to be able to experience this?
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about from the third floor down to the first floor, athletic training room, strength and conditioning, when we talk about nutrition, okay, and our nutrition bar and our nutrition area, we have so many spaces in this building that meet, okay, code for all of our student athletes. This isn't just a football facility, it's a student athletic performance center. So when we look at our cold tubs, hot tubs, our underwater treadmill, this is where all of our student athletes will come to sort of finish, certain parts of their rehab. This is where they'll come to get a snack, okay, or some nutrition, leaving an athletic training period or coming to an athletic training period. I think this place will still create connection for our student athletes. We had a small nutrition center over in the Murphy Center, which we'll still have, but now to have a place where they can get shakes, come over, have a massive space to actually work out as a team. Sometimes we had to split our teams, whether it was football, volleyball. I mean, we had to split our teams up for times just because we couldn't fit them into the space that we had. Now we can get entire teams into our weight room. So this is a proud moment for probably all of our athletics programs because it doesn't just encapsulate football. It brings everybody into the fold.
Head coach Mason also describes how evolutionary this advancement will be for the football program.
Coach, you're sitting here. How does it feel to finally be sitting here overlooking the entirety of Floyd Stadium?
Excited. Happy for our student athletes, happy for MTSU football, Blue Raider Nation. I think this is a jewelry box piece to our football stadium. This place has been a long time coming. I think if I'm remembering correctly, I remember in 2016, it being announced, and here we are. This has come to fruition. Right. I mean, I was at Vanderbilt looking, and now I'm actually sitting in this facility. It's a beautiful facility that meets the standards and expectations of what a Division I football program should have. So extremely excited.
The game day experience on the third floor of the SRM Concrete Club. It's going to be huge for not just you all, but the community, the alumni that get to come back and experience a brand new game day experience filling the Floyd. Talk to me about that.
When you go up to the third floor to the SRM Concrete Club and you see the Uncle Nearest, lounge and bar like that's up there, when you see the seating and how it's laid out, when you see the lightning bolt, like across the top, when you see the panoramic view like of our stadium, we've got new goalposts in our stadium and we have these lighting boards, man, we've got the jumbo. This is a different experience. In 2025, you want to have a ticket to come watch a football game here. We want to feel Floyd, but you're going to love the experience. It's going to be good from the time that you park your car to the time that you walk out of the stadium. It's going to be a different experience. So we invite you to come.
The whole structure, I guess, yes, of the team meeting rooms and obviously the positioning of your coordinators and how that kind of all is entangled together.
There's not a place in this building where our student athletes can't touch a coach, see somebody when they come into the building. And I think that's extremely important because they need touch points, like, which is cool. They want to see us and we are accessible. So to have the structure of this building, have our coordinators on each end as these guys come up, okay, and they can come right down the middle and come straight into my office. I like that. That's cool. So it was well thought out. I think what we're doing here is different. And so I invite anybody who wants to come see it.
And for players like quarterback Nick Vattiato, who has been wearing MTSU across his chest for 5 years now, he justifies the depth of impact that this will bring to his team.
How does it make you feel knowing that there's donors, alumni, community members that are really investing into this program?
I've been here for 5 years or going on my 5th year, and every opportunity that I've had, I am incredibly grateful for it. And just to see a facility like this, finally kind of come to life has been awesome. And I'm incredibly grateful to donors and community members for all of it.
Not only is this going to change, the day in and day out of practice and training, but this is also going to change the game day environment for you all with the new SRM Concrete Club and everything like that. What are you hopeful for on August 30th when it's the first home opener for you in the blue and white?
Yeah, I just hope it brings more people, whether they're in the stands, whether they're in the SRM Concrete Club. I mean, the game day atmosphere in general, the entire game day experience for the fans, I want that to be top tier for everyone who comes to watch the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders play here in Murfreesboro. And I want nothing more than to walk out for my last home opener, but for that first game on August 30th, I want nothing more than a ton of people to be here supporting us, having a great time, having a great day. And I think that would be nothing, there would be nothing better than that.
Now we're switching it to the locker room side of things, the different aspects, qualities that each locker is accustomed to. Tell me a little bit about the dynamics of this.
But when you look at the locker, it's very efficient. So when you open it up, slides on up, the shoulder pad will stay up there. There's a vent system inside that will actually help dry out the shoulder pad after practice. There's a slot right here. So when we go soft shells, they have a soft shell space where they can just slide their soft shell in. So it's pretty basic and everything dries out one time. You got your helmet area, also has a fan system into it. Now our helmets, again, are a little bit different than they used to be. They are 3D map and they're antimicrobial inside. So the stake doesn't actually stick into the helmet. They're easily wiped down, so on and so forth, but they have a nice space to sit. Now, this is where it kind of all changes, right? The unique thing about this locker is when you pull the inside up, right, and pull this down, you have a nice hanging bar right here. Hooks for knee braces if you need it, but I'll explain why that's not going to be utilized. You can put your backpack in here, things like that. This way, everything's out of place. Anytime they go to practice, everything's shut back up, right? Everything's clean. Any of their clothes or extra shoes, their sandals, things like that can go into their foot locker, close it. So when you come in here and we're at practice, this thing will actually stay completely clean year round. So not a lot of gunk around, so on and so forth. Now, I talked about knee braces and shoes. We actually put a dry room in the back of the equipment room where when they come off the field, they'll open up a closet. It looks like basically a refrigerator, and they'll put their knee braces and their shoes in there, and it actually heats it up at an ambient temperature so we can dry shoes within the first 10 minutes, kill all the odor in the knee brace, dry the cleat, all those things, and then when they go back out to practice, they can just grab them on the way out.
That's state of the art.
So this way, they don't have to leave any of that stuff in here.
Athletic Director Chris Massaro has been here to witness a long list of investments come to life, but he knows the SAPC will be a game changer in many ways to help elevate the athletic department for years to come.
So looking back at all your time here, and now you're walking into this brand new facility that you have helped create, how does that feel?
I've got a ton of highlights by being so lucky to work here. But this is one of them because this is a long time coming. It's from planning to to fundraising to execution and to the building and all the financing and all of that stuff, just to kind of finally see it all come together, and to come together better than almost everybody's expectations. And that's what we wanted to do, is kind of blow it out of the water. What we wanted to do is have a building that says to our student athletes, you guys are important and your development's important, and you come here and it's going to be important. So everything you need is going to be right here in this building.
The Build Blue campaign, you were one of the main people that spearheaded that and is continuing to. How important is that campaign, especially for the student athletes and for the community?
Yeah, and I think that one of the things that gets overlooked is we've had over 450 donors donate to Build Blue. So it's a movement. It's the community telling us that they believe in our student athletes as well, and that the community is saying that we want the very best for our student athletes. So I think that's really important. So while we see a lot of steel and glass in this building, that I see it as much more than that. I see it as a real signal. And for us to take this facility and make a statement with this facility, and at the same time with this facility, develop our student athletes to their optimums. And when we do that, we'll reap the dividends on that.
With the community soon seeing all this, what would you tell them whenever they're coming here in the future for game days, or just maybe possible recruits, anybody? Yeah. What would you tell them as the athletic director of MTSU whenever they are looking at this $66 million building?
Yeah, that we're serious about the development of our student athletes. And that's the number one thing. And we want them to develop academically, we want them to develop athletically, and we want them to develop into great men and women. And this facility helps us with all that.
So yes, Stephen and Denise Smith, the ones whose names are on the building and who are a lot of the reason why it's standing as of today. Tell me their importance in all of this and who they are.
We're so lucky that they're MTSU Blue Raiders, because Steve, with his financial support, his political heft, his savvy as the board chair, all those kind of things, this building wouldn't be possible without Steve and Denise Smith.
What we were mentioning earlier about the Murphy Center, this is only just the beginning. So let's talk about, yes, Wednesday is the end of phase 1, but we're just going to keep the ball rolling. So let's talk about the next steps that you have.
No, that's a good message to be out there, because this is just the beginning. And we want to turn this thing into a whole different zone. And we've talked a little bit about the Murphy Center. We've got $78 million in state monies for it. That we've passed some student fees that'll help fund it as well. We can raise private dollars. I think there's going to be a lot of interest in private dollars in the Murphy Center as well. The first piece was tennis, and now this, and then the hotel, and then whatever commerce comes across the street. And to be able to turn the Murphy Center into an entertainment center, back into an entertainment center, where we can host some concerts and other events and those kind of things. And that'll spur all this life in this area. And I think it's going to be, this place 5 years from now is going to be totally different. And I'm excited to see it.
That's a wrap for MTSU's most comprehensive investment to the athletic department to date. Phase 1 is complete, but now we turn our attention to the Murphy Center for Phase 2. If you want to continue to make an impact on our student athletes, visit buildbluenow.com. This is only just the beginning.